Welcome back, Guardsmaniacs. It is Gary Fair and Logan Bruce, and we're back with episode 4 of Guardsmania. We're here in the 4th week of the MLB season, and man, it has been a week this week. Lots of ups and downs. The first couple weeks were, just incredible weeks. They looked unstoppable, and now they're looking a little bit. Looking human now. How you been, Logan?
Good, man. Yeah, we just lost a tough one again today, so other than that, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, for sure. The pitching, still is looking good. The pitching is, looking as good as it has pretty much all year long. The Guards just come off a tough 2-0 loss to the Houston Astros, losing another series. The Astros, the record doesn't show it so far this year, but they are always a tough team. They're always a tough matchup for the Guardians, whether they are cheating or not. They are always tough. They're tough for us. I don't know if any of you guys are in the text group with Paul Hoynesy with Cleveland.com, but there was a discussion going on in there about whether or not Cleveland fans should be booing the Houston Astros players for their cheating. So that's something that we will go into. He kind of blamed the fans for the offensive eruption Monday night for the Astros, which I didn't think was necessarily fair. Talks about how good hitters get inspired by the booing of the fans, which is weird because that doesn't seem to necessarily happen in any other sport unless it's Michael Jordan. It's usually called like a home field advantage and it's encouraged, but we will talk about that here in a little bit. We're going to talk.
Let's get to what we have to talk about or get to, because I want to talk about that. I didn't hear that. That pissed me off.
Yeah. So we will talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk. We got some. We're going to talk about Bo Naylor. He is hitting about 150 right now. Talk about maybe who is in AAA to come up. Daniel Espino, which if you've been a Guards fan for a long time and you follow prospects, he was a starter that was somebody that we thought we were expecting a lot from. But injuries have kept him away, and now he's we're going to talk about how he's doing in AAA out of the bullpen. We're going to look at the standings and talk about Slade Ceconi's future as he comes off another rough start. I'm going to backpedal a little bit of what I was talking about last week because the numbers do not back up what I was saying last week in his future. And then obviously we'll get into Albert Bell and get a little bit of that 90s talk in there. Some more stats that show that maybe he should be in the Hall of Fame. And then I also want to talk about, the heat between Kenny Lofton and Randy Johnson, because that comes up in my feed all the time. Yeah. And so we got some stuff there, for them. But I also want to introduce to our fans here. You guys may have seen him in the comments. He is one of my guys since, we were kids. He's a huge baseball fan. He is going to be helping us out with research. He will also be doing some little bit of production here for us, being a producer, and will be on the show here with us. You guys, I want to introduce you to Eric Sean Green. What's going on?
How you doing, gentlemen? Pleasure to be part of the show.
Yeah, man. Glad to have you.
Thanks. Definitely looking forward to talking some baseball, getting into this team, and seeing how they can help themselves.
Yeah.
If they can help themselves,
They can, right?
Yeah. That's right. Maybe we'll start a GoFundMe or something to pay for
buy the team
yeah, or buy the whole team, so then we
can extend contracts on our own.
Yeah, bring good players in. Yeah,
for sure. But I wonder if even if we had that GoFundMe and we did provide that cash, I still wonder if the Dolans would spend that money.
No.
True. No, just add it to his net worth. Yeah.
Not right now, and they could be worth $4.8 billion instead of 4.6.
Yeah, for sure. So here we are. Cleveland Guardians once again. They lose a tough one to the Houston Astros, 2-0. Waste a really good start by Tanner Bybee. Bybee. He's not had the season that we've wanted him to have necessarily, but he looks like he is starting to turn it around. Just kind of bringing up here, season stats here. These stats were put in at the end of the day. So these do include the stats for today. Let's bring them up here. All right, so let's take a look at where Tanner Bybee is at. So Tanner Bybee, sorry, I'm trying to maximize my screen here so I can see it with my blind eyes. If you guys,
I know I'm having trouble as well.
The problem is that this podcast is being brought to you by some very, very old men, except for Logan.
Yeah.
Logan's a young guy. So Logan,
But he's got glasses, right?
Kind of, yeah. The 1980s glasses, the Stranger Things shit.
I don't know. Should I put my readers on? Is that going to be?
Yeah.
So Tanner Bybee right now is still winless this year with a 4.45 ERA. So, 4.45 ERA is not what you want from a guy that you think is going to be possibly your ace, but that's still respectable. In a way that doesn't get you released. 4.45 keeps you in the league.
Yeah, especially at his salary.
The first thing stands out. I mean, he has an extra start under his belt, but I mean, he's getting 30 innings. Like, that's 30 innings at a 4.45. Again, there's one extra game started here, but that's, I don't know, that's what you want out of some of these guys, just to eat the innings, because we get into our own bullpen issues.
But I mean, if you do the math there, though, that's 5 innings a start.
Yeah.
So he's not necessarily even eating the innings. He's giving you the minimum amount of innings that you need in order to even register a decision.
Has to start. Yeah.
Yeah.
But today was like a good, what was it? The second batter of the game hit a home run, and then that was the ball game. You could have just ended the game there in the first inning. And it was Yordan Alvarez, like that dude. I don't know if you guys have been following him. He's been going nuts this year.
Yeah. He's raking.
Yeah. We saw, and we'll get to the booing of the Astros, but I was at Indians or Guardians Astros game like 5 years ago and watched him take BP. That dude hits the hardest baseball I've ever seen. I even texted a couple people I knew, and I was like, he hadn't really started to pick up yet, but I was like, this guy, when he makes contact, that it's insane.
It's a whole different game. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we watch Rocchio is doing well, but then you just watch our team, and it's like I think Jose might be the only one on the team that could reach that velocity, the exit velocity that dude has. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he was definitely a guy when he was coming up. It was kind of like, who was going to be the man, him or Juan Soto?
Yeah,
and Soto definitely had the glove above him. And Alvarez has definitely had his issues with injuries, which I think stopped him from being into that conversation with Soto. But as far as a bat goes, I mean, I don't know that there's anybody in the major leagues that really competes with him. There's nobody I want to face with, bases loaded, guys on base. I don't want to face him.
Yes, I'm looking right now. His exit velo on average is 93.3, which, and his launch angle, I mean, there's a lot. We'll look at that stuff, but yeah. So yeah, Bybee had a great start though. That's what, I don't know. You hate to see it. He actually put it all together, I think, except for that one inning.
And then the Guardians were just doing Guardian things.
Yep.
No, not being able to score any runs and waste a good start. But that's kind of the heart of this team.
Yeah,
it's what we thought they were.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing right now kind of what we thought they would be doing at the beginning of the season. They just, we are at the point now where you're starting to see over an amount of time, the warts on the team, right? We're a month in, or almost a month in. We're getting into the 4th week here, and you're starting to see an offense that, really just is not that deep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's
outside of some heroics like with DeLauder and stuff like that. It's just, or what was it, yesterday's game where we were down 4-2 in the 8th and put up 6 runs that inning.
6 runs, yeah.
Yeah. We kind of again came out and we just exploded, but then we usually can't put up 6 runs a game. It's like but we did it in one inning yesterday. It's baseball.
That's the difference, man, is that these teams, right, when you have a deep team, you can put up 1 or 2 runs against good pitching.
Yeah.
But when you don't have a deep team, this is what happens. You put up zeros. And you can, you're in the major leagues, right? Baseball is baseball. There are going to be times where bad offensive teams are going to be able to put up crooked numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not going to be able to do that consistently. And this team is over time going to lack consistency. And when they start to go, through slumps and things like that, this is what's going to happen. And it could end up being a dry summer for these guys if they don't do something to start to, put together something around, these guys at the top of the order on this offense. I mean, Chase DeLauder, he had a great first couple games, but he's hitting 230. And I know that we have advanced numbers now, and an OPS over 800, 835 is a great OPS, but you still can't have a guy at the top of your lineup hitting 230. He's having a great rookie year, and this isn't a dump on him, right? This is a dump on the organization. I know we're only 4 weeks in, but this is a lot of heavy expectations to put on a guy who is a rookie, who has had a lot of injuries in his development. We need, he needs some backup.
Right. And that's what we were talking about. The depth this team does not have it at this time. They have a nice, strong minor league system. Some of these guys might be coming up very soon. But overall, its depth isn't there at the major league level. I mean, a pitcher away from an injury in this rotation could look a lot different.
For sure. But what does a deep minor league system mean, though? These guys, it depends on where they are, and they have to become major league baseball players.
Well, I trust the Guardians process. They seem to develop and get the most out of the players that come through here. So I have faith that they can develop these guys. And that's how it's the formula we have for winning here. We need to keep developing and making these trades that benefit us for years to come.
Yeah, that's what's tough about it. Like, I mean, I'm grateful that our team, like, we still make the playoffs and everything. That's kind of like the frustrating part about it is like, yeah, we have half of our team or most of the teams hitting 230, but can we argue with the results? It's like, okay, like we can sit here and that's like, we're not being all doom and gloom. It's just the facts. Like the offense isn't that great. The pitching is doing amazing right now, which is kind of always the story here. And it's like, it's enough to get us into the playoffs. But to your guys' point, like right now we are where we are, and Rocchio is hitting out of his mind. Before that, DeLauder was hitting out of his mind. Martinez has been hitting out of his mind. Parker Messick is pitching out of his mind. Like if one or two of those things starts to change, then it, it might not look as good. So I think that's, and I agree with you, man. Like the minor league system that we have, it's like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I think we can kind of call guys up and they might not be superstars, but they'll fit exactly right into what gets us into the playoffs every year. Fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, but it's like Bazanna could come up and hit 240, and that's somehow what gets us into the playoffs every year.
For sure, but does it get us? Where into the playoffs does it get us though?
To Emmanuel Clase blowing games on purpose for money. The Yankees, yeah.
But but that's 1 year though. Every other year though, it's the offense that So and I'll bring up here's some of the stats here for the offense. But this is where we lack the development, right? Is in the offense, right? We were talking about last week, and we'll bring it up again. Juan Brito. Here is a guy that's supposed to be bat first.
He's also very new. Like
he's 25 years old though.
Yeah, it's just a different ball game getting up into the pros.
Yeah, you're in the pros though. You've been in the pros. I know it's different going from AAA to the majors. And listen, man, and this is coming from a fat guy with no athletic ability, right? Who never got to really play past. I didn't make my high school team, so I understanding all of that. But the Guardians are not developing hitters still.
No, you're not wrong there. They definitely
Yeah.
seem to have an edge when it comes to pitching, developing pitching, getting the best out of even pitchers that have been injured or down years. But when it comes to hitting, they seem to always get bad luck, even with Lane Thomas. I mean, if he was healthy last year, who knows how the season could have gone. I mean, they over exceeded their expectations last year. They were, negative run differential. For them to have the record they did and get as far as they did was really kind of amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
not that teams don't make the playoffs with a negative run differential, but we watched it. We saw them the games they had to win, 2-1, 2-0, one.
Mm-hmm.
And like we're saying, that's it's good, but it's not sustainable, especially when you get to the playoffs.
Right. Yeah, and that's like right now the Mets are on that skid. Like they lost their 12th game, and all the graphics are popping up of teams that have made the playoffs after having a 10+ game losing streak.
Right.
And last year's Guardians were one of those. I think there are 3 teams in total, and last year we were one of them.
Right.
So it's like we just defied the odds all season last year. Last season, I wouldn't call it a fluke because we've done it before, but it also was kind of a fluke. Like we probably should not have made the playoffs. Outside of getting extremely hot right at the end of the year.
We had no business in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Absolutely no business in the playoffs last year.
Well, ball didn't lie. No.
Yeah, I mean, we made the playoffs, so yeah, we deserve to be there. We made it.
I mean, I guess so, but I just don't necessarily listen, man. So right now we're on an 87. Each week I give you an idea of like where we're on pace, right? We're on pace for 87 wins. So the trending, it's definitely trending down as so far as the year's going, right? But you can't. I mean, you have right now your leadoff hitter has an on-base percentage of 315. I know that that's an old stat. It doesn't mix with all the new stats, but that's you can't survive. You're not a playoff team.
No, they're not going to be able to produce runs with the guys not setting up the base, setting up the plate for Manzardo and Ramirez.
Well, but the thing is too, okay, but just for Manzardo, look at where he's at. Manzardo's got a 534 OPS.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I just don't understand is, the Guardians, we develop pitching and that's been awesome. Mm-hmm. But there's a disconnect somewhere and we've got to figure out where it is. Juan Brito is a top prospect for Colorado for his bat. He comes here and it takes him 3 years to make the majors, 3-4 years, and he can't hit a barn.
Well, we also don't ever trade any of our prospects. That's like, I think we were recently voted the number one, like all the GMs voted, and we were the number one team that hoards all their prospects. So it's like these guys, I mean, I guess they get their playing time, but it's like we just have a logjam of middle infielders at all times, it seems. A logjam of utility guys like the Schneemans and like, and I'm offering my formal apology to Schneeman. I was talking a lot of crap at the start of the year, but he's been awesome. But we just have a logjam of these guys, and it's like, my God, man, like nobody seems to really stand out. Like Yordan Alvarez, that dude, like they knew when he was in high school that he was going to be, the Astros all-star left fielder.
Yeah,
right.
Like we just haven't really. So that, I guess the point I'm making is like, does it become a drafting issue? I don't know. I mean, I know somewhat of what we draft because we were talking about our fantasy baseball teams. Like I know what our minor league system looks like and everything, but it's like, are we just not drafting like the Lindors anymore? Like the guys that just flat out stand out above the rest?
They went a little outfield heavy, I believe, the last few drafts, right? And I don't know. They don't really have much to show. I mean, Chase DeLauder.
Yeah.
I mean, if he could definitely that's a good one. Could definitely be a game changer here. But the other ones will still see time with Lavalette. I can't even say his name.
Yeah.
But they, and I think that hopefully it creates a little bit of a logjam in outfielders, because I guess it's not really a bad problem to have as long as, but you want these guys to work out, of course. But when you have guys that are ready to come up and ready to go, I think it pushes the competition.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But you can push the competition all you want, but if you don't have the guys with the talent, then it's not real competition.
Eventually they need to step aside.
Yeah. And we're there right now. And it's not just in the middle infield or in the outfield. It's also behind the plate. If we look here at these stats, we're at year 3 or 4 of waiting on Bo Naylor. And Bo Naylor right now, he's killing him again. He's not the only one, but he's hitting 130 with a 407 OPS, and he's getting most of your playing time behind the plate. You are in the beginning, or you're in the end of April, you're at the beginning of the season, but I don't know that you are at a point that you can sustain this any longer.
He also almost killed the pitcher the other day. I don't know if you guys saw that. He threw to second base when someone was stealing, and he missed it about 8 feet right, and it went right over I don't remember who was pitching, but it went probably 6 inches over his head.
Ceconni. Yeah, he reacted to it too, because he was way off the right side of the mound.
Slade reached up and was like, "What was that?"
Right.
Yeah, man, he's rough, man.
Yeah,
he's rough to watch. And go ahead.
I was gonna say he's got a beautiful swing though, man. He hit one again today where it was just a smooth swing. I thought it was a home run, and it was just a line out to the right fielder again. And it was it just is very weird. He looks like he had all the tools. That's why he was drafted where he was drafted. Maybe it's your point, Gary. And some of it is on the players. It's not all about us developing him. Sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. But it's I don't know. That dude seemed like he had all the tools.
Yeah. But now he's the lowest WAR on the offense, minus 0.5.
I mean, we should not be sitting here hoping that Austin Hedges plays catcher more. I love Hedges and and I like what he does with the pitching staff, but it's we were all joking when we signed him, kind of, because it was that was our big offseason signing. It was kind of a joke.
But I think Bo Naylor, though, has always been a guy that they've just been looking at tools, though. He's never been a guy that has ever really produced. If you look at his minor league stats, the best he's hit is 271.
Yeah.
He's never been he's, I don't know, man. I don't know. I know that there were some advanced stats, if you look at I even just use OPS, as something. So if you're looking at his OPS, and he had a little bit of power there, but there was nothing that jumped off the page at you for anything that he really did in the minor leagues. I just don't know that, just because you draft a guy at a certain place, doesn't mean he's going to be what you think he's going to be. And this is just another example of a guy that you drafted high that isn't going to be what you thought he was going to be. He's a bust.
Yeah. And sometimes a change of scenery is what, I mean, I don't know. I'm the Cleveland fan in me doesn't want to give up on the guy because I know he'll go to Oakland or somewhere or wherever the hell, Sacramento, wherever the hell they play now, and be the guy. He'll end up turning it around somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't see it, man. Because here's the thing is I know that, dude, first of all, almost every left-hander not named Chase DeLauder has a beautiful swing. Swings look just great from the left side, Yeah. The other thing is too is he watches so many strikes go by him. He just I don't know, man. It's questionable. But we do have a guy in AAA that's a catcher that is tearing it up in AAA right now.
I was going to ask, how's Engel been doing? Yep.
Here we go. So Engel
he's one of our top prospects. I don't know what number. He's top 10, I believe.
Yeah, I think he is number 3 or 4 right now.
Yeah.
So far this year, he is tearing it up. He's young-ish. He's 23, 24, so he's right about that age where he should be ready to come up to the major leagues. Looks like he's got some power there. He can walk.
Really good.
Drives and runs.
Plate discipline, and his eye seems to be one of his premier features. Walks more than 20 walks to 9 strikeouts so far this year in minors.
Which in today's game, that's huge. The strikeout. Everybody's okay with striking out nowadays.
I've always been a person get on base, and anything can happen, and get on base no matter how.
Yep.
That's how my philosophy always is. So guys like that are valuable.
Yeah, for sure. And here's the scouting report on him for this year. So they talk about his college career. It's steady, but
Not even unspectacular.
unspectacular.
Yeah, he's a Guardian. That's it.
Yeah, man. From Clemson, so he's smart.
Mhm.
He comes from a good college. He's a heady dude. Why? If he's got a bat on him, and it seems like he's kind of a heady dude, he's a guy I want up here learning from Hedges.
Right.
Mhm.
Bo Naylor he's just not the guy.
Yeah. There's like a weird line to like, it's tough because it's like Bazanna kind of, and we'll have our weekly Bazanna watch here in a minute, but like once you call these guys up, then it becomes, and catcher's a little bit different because they take off days anyway, they need to.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you call him up, like how much playing time should he get? That, like, do you call him up and he's catching 70% of the games like a normal starting catcher would be, or do you call him up and him and Hedges split time and there's literally 50-50 or 60% Hedges, 40% Engel? Like that's also what's in these front offices' mind too. Like, is he better off getting 100% of the at bats down there right now?
Right.
It's I don't know the answer to that. That's just what we have to consider.
No,
Right.
for sure. You don't the thing about Hedges too is that it's been a long time since Hedges was a full-time player, a starter. And being a catcher, I know from just playing it in Little League, it's a taxing position. So he's not going to be able to be your starting catcher, and neither is David Fry. But maybe you bring this guy up and he plays 3-4 days a week, and then you have between Fry and Hedges playing those other couple games. You have him playing enough that he's learning, but you're not wearing him out. You're not wearing the kid out. And you're not wearing anybody else out.
Right.
Hedges pretty much locked in with Messick, right? I'm pretty sure that they go together. They're like the battery. So
yeah, that's a good call too. Like even if Hedges and Messick are together, like give Hedges another one of the pitchers, like where he just catches these two guys in the rotation every time around. Or like a spot where like if Hedges needs to come in because I don't know, Bibby's had a few bad games, and maybe to switch it up and throw Hedges in there to try to even him out for a game.
I mean, if you're doing that, why don't you throw Hedges on Ceconni and see if there's anything you can do to fix this?
I mean, Ceconni might demand it now that Naylor almost killed him with a throw down to second. Like, it's
I mean,
I don't disagree.
But you're at a point now where you got to start figuring something out because I know that you got to give guys time, but you also don't want to wait too long. You don't have the margin for error that a lot of these other teams have.
correct.
You just don't, and they can't operate as if they do. And at this moment they're operating like they do, and they do not have that margin for error. So you just got to kind of, for me, Bo Naylor is on a short leash, and if he goes somewhere else and he does well, I mean, then that's just something that you have to deal with. But you've given, Bo Naylor, you've been giving him a shot since 2022. It's 2026. Like he's almost a free agent here in a couple years.
Right.
So even if he does, start performing, if he does become something, he's going to do it. The Guardians don't re-sign people. So he's going to become something right before you can't even, and then you can't even re-sign him and get anything for him anyway. It's time to like almost, you figure out your losses and you move on.
So I don't know if we can trade him though.
What's his value? Yeah, it's.
I mean, right now his value, he's taking a roster spot.
Yeah.
Aren't there a whole bunch of other guys that can hit 130 in the league?
Would hope so.
Killing your pitchers.
Well, that's where if he got hot and got his average up to 180, 190, he'd be one of our best hitters. So he's got to watch out.
Right.
That's what sucks. Is like the catcher, like outside of, I don't know, like Mike Piazza and Pudge and those guys, like the catchers routinely are not the best hitters on the team. So him hitting 130 sounds awful, but then when you put it up against everybody else that's hitting 210, like he's really like he's the 80 points of average off that catchers have always been. It's just the rest of our team is so bad at hitting. Like his 80 points has him down at 130.
Right.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I agree with you 100%, Gary. It's like I'm sick of waiting for him to do something. It's
I mean, let's see what are catchers hitting this year.
And there's a few other players on this team who's this is their year to either take that step or either.
Who are you talking about? Who do you think?
Arias and Martinez as well. Martinez is a little younger, but Gabby for sure. And I love his swing, and he can crush the ball, but his judgment on strikes and balls is just horrific. He just he looks so lost at times, which is frustrating.
Yeah. And
so he's got those tools.
Yeah, exactly. Like some of the throws he'll make from deep in the hole at shortstop, like
unreal.
And he was hitting pretty well. That's it. As soon as I was at the game where he pulled his hamstring or whatever he did, and it was just like it figured. It's like the guy, he was actually doing okay. Like he wasn't going to be an all-star or anything, but he was getting some timely hits there, and then he gets hurt. And part of it, I mean, we're playing 30-degree weather that day, and he pulled his hamstring, and now all of a sudden he has a hot start, and he's not allowed to continue it, and he might not have a roster spot. Like, Bazanna, like at any point could get called up, and we like one middle infielder is going to have to go.
Right.
But
go
ahead, Gary.
I'd say that's the way it goes, though, man.
Yeah.
It's like
any sport.
For sure, but how many opportunities has Arias had, though, throughout his career to lock that spot down? They have given him the shot in the middle infield last couple years. They've given him that shot a couple times, and he's had opportunities to play the outfield. You have that's the thing about life, and you know that in music too, man. You have to take advantage of the shots that you get.
I think Eminem's got something.
Yeah. You'll
one or what is it with the 7 shots, 7 opportunities?
Yeah, you only get 7 opportunities.
Yeah.
So if you miss your shot to blow, you get another one.
Yeah.
That's how the song goes, right?
Yep. Yeah, Martin. Did you look up the catcher stuff, or did you stop because we started complaining?
Yeah, no, I got it. I'm gonna add it here to the screen here. Give me 1 second. I'm just screenshotting it here. So I want everyone else to be able to see here, but this is I'm going to show you how far off Bo Naylor is from the average catcher in Major League Baseball. Right? So like we're talking about, he's not that far off from whatever. Wait till you see how far off he is from the average catcher in Major League Baseball.
We're talking replacement level.
We're talking the average. What is the league average for catchers?
Are we saying batting average?
We're going to look at average, OPS, slugging, and on base. We're going to look at all of the.
I'm going to guess that the average batting average though for a catcher 205.
Okay.
I'll go 222.
222. Okay. What is your guess for on base percentage?
370, 360.
Say that's 322. 222 and 322.
All right. I'm having a hard time getting this screenshot here. So I'll just tell you what we got here.
Mm-hmm.
Our league average for a catcher, a batting average is 234. So he's hitting 100 points lower than the league average catcher.
So you're saying that if we had the league average catcher on our team, they would be hitting the same average that our superhero Chase DeLauder is hitting right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Literally, I think this like 230. I think he's 234
230,
also.
234.
Yeah.
That is what the league average catcher. The league average catcher has an OPS of 687.
And does Bo even have an OPS?
Yeah, maybe. Well, let's go back here. Let's go look at these stats here.
416.
So let's see how many guys on offense have an OPS bigger than the league average catcher. All right. So Arias, he was doing so well, still had an OPS that was lower than the league average catcher. He was picking it up, still lower.
He had 6 hits. Yeah, I thought he was like going crazy.
No.
And it was just because he got 6 hits.
Stephen Kwan, lower.
Yeah.
Manzardo, lower. Bo Naylor, 280 points lower. Juan Brito, 230 points lower. David Fry, lower. Austin Hedges. Man, this guy's having a great year. He still has an OPS that's 20 points lower than the average catcher.
Yeah.
Jeez.
George Valera. So we have 12 guys on offense that have posted some sort of statistics on offense. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So half of them.
It's tough to win.
It's tough it's
when you
very tough to win that way.
Yeah, when you have a team of catchers out there. Yeah. Yeah, but the average catcher is not in first place in the AL Central, and the Guards are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure. Hey, man, listen, we are for right now. I am so happy we are in first place.
I know.
But we got to look at it. You have to look at it realistically as well. If you're going to do that, then you can't have this. Slade Ceconni, his last start on Monday. 5 innings pitched, gave up 10 hits, 6 earned runs, 7 runs total. Right. And last week I thought that maybe he would be better for the bullpen because I thought that, he was doing pretty good first time through
the order.
Or through the order. Right. And then I found this. His worst inning is the first inning. So in his he's had 5 starts. He's given up 7 runs in the first inning through those first 5 starts. He blows through the second inning. Third inning's respectable. Fourth inning, he gets, this is the second or third time through, he gets creamed. Fifth inning, he's okay. Yeah, and then, he doesn't really see the 6th inning.
Yeah.
So
it's all right because we got Matt Pesta coming out of the bullpen to save him.
So yeah, for sure. Yeah. So this is where we are.
Yeah.
I don't know. And this is also who you got for Josh Naylor. So, we've made a lot of good trades. This was not a good trade.
It's weird though, because like last year I hate to say that he showed flashes, but that's where the implosion this year is just kind of weird because there were times last year where he was dominant. And
there are times this year when he's dominant. Look at that second inning. He is not allowed to run in the second inning.
Right.
Second and third inning, he's shutting guys down.
I mean, his second start of the year, he was hard luck loser. He lost 1-0. He had 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, and that's more in line with what we're accustomed to seeing him. And his numbers have been way down this year. And other than that game, he's given up 4 earned runs, 1 earned run, 6 earned runs, and 6. So it's a lot of earned runs they give up per start.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, the Guardians, they're in a couple rough spots here. They have, when you don't spend in the off season, when you're not one of those teams, you have to rely on the guys that you trade for and guys that you bring up through the farm system. And when those guys are not producing, you end up in these tough spots. They needed Slade Ceconni to hold down the back end of that rotation. And he is not right now. And I know that they're not in a bad spot. They're not under 500. They're in first place in the AL Central. So I know a lot of this has been doom and gloom, and I don't mean it to be that way, but it's the way it kind of feels. Sometimes there are years where the team has a losing record, but you feel good about the team in the future. And then there are
Yeah.
years where you have a winning record, but you can still kind of feel the bottom falling out. And they've been fun so far. They're leading the league and come from behind wins. So there's a lot of good going on with this team, but you just want it to continue. And there's some things that are trending that you're hoping that they can fix before it's too late.
Right. They're already negative run differential, so it's like I said, same Guardians it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
But like you said, at some point it's going to have to correct itself.
For sure. Another one bright spot in that minor league system has been Daniel Espino.
Man, I'm
Now,
so happy to see this.
Oh my gosh, this has been a great story for them.
Yeah.
First round pick, he was a starting pitcher, and then it looked like he wasn't ever going to pitch again. And they brought him back into the bullpen, and he is just
lights out.
Dude, he's wheeling and dealing, dude. He's lights out, man. 105 WHIP, 135 ERA through 7 games, 8 strikeouts. It's over a strikeout an inning. Just he's killing it, and he's only 25 years old. Still feels like he's 45 for how long his name has been around. Especially, dude, if you play video games and you play MLB The Show, dude,
yeah.
he has been on your roster for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's been weird. He was attribute A for potential, and then a C and an A, and all these other different things because of these injuries. But it looks like he's back up to that A, man. Daniel Espino is dealing down in AAA, and maybe he is what the doctor ordered for what's going on with Cade Smith at the end of the game there.
Absolutely. Yeah, Cade Smith is just not been effective. I mean, he's got everything it looks like to be the closer, the frame, body type, the pitches, everything, but it just doesn't seem to translate into the 9th inning success for him for whatever reason. Maybe he's better off in the 8th, and they can find somebody like you were saying, move Ceconni, bring up Espino. They got a few options to rattle this bullpen a little bit, and they've been off to a pretty rough start. The bullpen. I know that at the beginning was really good, but as of late, they've been getting beaten up.
Yeah, and it's like like Hunter Gaddis I know he just came back from injury, so you can't really put him in that. Like that's the thing is like Cade hasn't been bad enough that you'd say like we need to remove him as our closer right now. But there's also enough question marks there where you're like are we gonna have to in a month? Like how many? One of them though, like man, the burrito thing like that. That was a huge like that game with him coming in and Brito dropping that ball. Where we end like that's where if somebody you just catch the routine grounder and get the guy out, like that's when like maybe something like a flip switches in Cade Smith's mind because you just went out and got a 1-2-3 inning and got the save. But instead his second baseman drops a ground ball and then we lose the game. It's like that's the stuff that cannot happen, especially when the bullpen's struggling. Like that's and I don't know.
Moralizing.
Yeah. It's like,
I mean, they were a few of the guys I believe were in tears after that game.
Yeah. Like I felt bad for Brito after that one because it's like, I mean, you don't like to see it. And like, as the person, you're like, man, that really sucks for him. But it's also like, dude, like, come on, man. I feel like any of us could have caught that grounder.
Yeah.
It's major. Like, it's different. It's the majors, obviously. But I don't know. Yeah, the Espino thing's super cool though. I think we wait until it warms up a little bit. I know he's pitching down in Columbus right now, but if he gets called up, like the blood will be flowing, like it'll be running, he'll be all amped up. Like maybe wait until May when it's a little bit warmer up here, and then give him the call up. Let him start off a Friday night, like let him come in on a weekend, like homestand Friday or Saturday. Let the crowd all see him when it's warmer out. I think that would be ideal.
Whose roster spot does he get as of right now?
I mean, we have to take one of the bullpen guys. I think I'm trying. Like I just Festa is like my new Schneeman because I would just hate on Schneeman all the time for no reason. But it's like every time I see Festa come in the sixth inning,
Festa's my
like,
Festa.
yeah, exactly. It's like and he's probably a nice guy, and like again, it might be a decent pitcher, but he's just the guy right now that kind of summarizes
giving up runs. Just comes in and gives up runs, right?
Yeah, like again, it might not even be statistically true, but that's just how I see the guy. It's like,
yeah, no,
he's gonna come in and give up a run or two.
I'm in agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. There's always a guy in the bullpen that gets that grief. Like in the 90s, it was Eric Plunk. He was dynamite for us, man. But for some reason, when you have a name like Plunk, it just feels like, Kurt Plunk, everything you do is a home run,
Yeah.
Every time it was magnified.
For sure.
Like, you just hit a guy, just plunked him there. That's right.
I remember we were in 1998, my dad and I were following the home run race in the summer with Sosa McGuire, and we had gone to see a game in Milwaukee. I think it was in Milwaukee, and Plunk was pitching for the Brewers, and so before the game, they're walking on the field, and they're walking across the field over to the bullpen, and my dad in Milwaukee County Stadium, it used to have this like just voice that would carry, and I swear I thought Eric Plunk shit himself. He's walking to the bullpen, just goes, Eric. I'm not gonna scream, but it just reverberated in Milwaukee County, and Eric Plunk like jumped and like turned around, looked to see where it was coming from. I really thought he pooped himself.
And he retired a week later. Yeah,
yeah, he sure did.
98 is like everybody says it. I know it's not a hot take, but the best summer of baseball, man. Like that was so much fun, and I was younger, but it was like I could only imagine that, or in 1961, like Mantle and Maris going after it. Like that had to be a lot of fun too. And now we're watching Bo Naylor hit $130. Well,
they say that 61 wasn't that fun though, because there was so much hate. Nobody wanted him to break. No one wanted him to break the Babe's record.
Yeah, and everybody was mad that Maris was the one that did it because Mickey Mantle was like the Yankee, like that. He was the Yankee.
Yeah,
Maris had bounced around the league a little, even played for us. And they all wanted Mickey to break it, but he ended up getting hurt and didn't finish the year. So
sometimes
it's actually a good movie
about
it. It's called 61. It's an HBO movie. It's really good. You guys should check it out.
Yeah, definitely 61.
Will. It's going to be the amount of hits that Bo Naylor has this year.
And 600 at bats.
Yeah, 600 at bats, 61 hits.
So, we got a pretty good idea of what's going on with the team right now. We know we've talked about where they're good. We've talked about some deficits. Through all the stuff that we talk about, I get a lot of 90s stuff in my feed. And here I just want to, talk. We've talked a little bit about Kenny Lofton. There's two guys that I just kind of want to make a push. There's two Indians that belong in the Hall of Fame, Kenny Lofton and Albert Bell. And each week I'm going to make a case. We're going to make a case for at least Albert Bell, but I just want to, I want to show you guys all what I believe is the greatest play in baseball history. This happened October 17th, 1995.
Is this the one that you were screaming at Kenny, telling him that it was his best play?
Yes, this is the one I was screaming at Kenny. And this is the one, I always thought that this was the one that, there's always these videos that come up with Randy Johnson throwing at Kenny Lofton's head.
Yeah.
And I thought that this was the play why Randy was throwing at Kenny. But I think that maybe Kenny did this because Randy was throwing at him. Because in this game, Randy threw at him for the first time in the first at bat.
First at bat, right?
Yeah. So this is Kenny's retaliation for being thrown at by Randy Johnson in the playoffs. All right, so we get the wind up in the pitch.
Look at this guy, dude.
A wild pitch. Kenny Lofton's on second base.
No, it lagged. Oh, I see it.
Man, he disappeared and then he like teleported from second base to home.
Yeah.
Steroid era was crazy. He disappeared.
So we'll try this one more time since it lags. See if we can get it to
Yeah.
unlag here.
No, I saw it. It was
Oh yeah, this play just
Live.
gives me chills to watch it because I remember watching it live, yeah, and how big of a moment that was. That you kind of felt, man, we got these guys just based off that moment.
yeah.
You know, Randy Johnson just, you know, lackadaisically going to cover home, thinking, I mean, who goes to home from second?
Right? Catcher casually grabbing the ball.
Mm-hmm. Dan
That's what
Wilson.
he just assumed that all right, that run scored. And
Right.
that was it. But Kenny had other ideas. You could see the sticky substance on Randy Johnson's hat too. It looked like right on
for
his
sure.
brim. That was like the old school whatever they would use.
Yeah,
but yeah. No, that's a crazy play
for sure. And, you know, Randy used to always throw at, you know, those tough left-handed hitters. You know, whether it was in the All-Star game, you know, the stuff with John Kruk and Larry Walker. But it's funny, you know, he would do in games, you know, he would kind of, I think, I don't know about Randy Johnson. I loved watching the big unit, but with a guy that could pitch that well, I know that he was wild. It just was crazy how many left-handers he almost killed. And then he would come out and say, man, I was throwing a slider. If I wanted to hit you, I'd hit you. It's like, dude, I don't know how many sliders are going 98 miles an hour at someone's forehead, you know? But I would love to, you know, with all these years that have gone by now, have Kenny and Randy sit down sometime and just kind of like talk about like what happened, man? Like, how did this turn into this thing? You know, you had that game in 95, and then in 98, all of a sudden you're fighting all the time.
That's right. Did Kenny like have his number? Like, was he getting hits off of him a lot?
And I mean, not really. You know,
they were not more than anyone else, really. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and they were, you know, he was in the AL West and Kenny was in the AL Central, so we didn't, you know, see him all that. We didn't see him all that too often. And then Kenny 97 was with Atlanta. You know, then we came back in that. So it's not like we weren't seeing the Mariners all the time.
Weird.
You know, it was just it was kind of strange. So you know, I just, you know, in the day where now it seems like on all these, you know, national podcasts are getting everybody to sit down and talk about, you know, all the situations. I'd love to see Randy Johnson and Kenny Lofton sit down at some point and just kind of like what was going on.
Right.
You know,
right.
You know, we're hearing Pedro talk about some of his stuff now. You know, it'd be cool to hear some of that. Other guy we talk about is our boy Albert Bell. And this is just a comparison. I know I did some comparisons last week, but this is just another one here comparing Albert Bell with Kirby Puckett and Jim Rice. So this is Albert Bell, 12 seasons, Kirby Puckett, 12 seasons, Jim Rice, 12 seasons. So as we're looking here, as you can see, in 12 seasons, this is against two other Hall of Famers.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see here?
I see somebody who definitely deserves to be in there. He has the power, drove in the runs that these guys, I mean, 4 extra seasons. If you gave him 75 a season, which is low, he's going to be at 1539. He's got Jim Rice, he's got him in home runs too. If he just gets a couple more seasons, and that's unfortunate. And I know they take that into consideration, the longevity of the career. But if you look at talent, he was it.
If you look at longevity, though, he's one of 11 players in Major League Baseball history to have 9 consecutive seasons with 100 or more RBIs.
Yeah, he was consistent. He was a master of consistency and hitting, and it's just a shame it fell off so quickly.
We have, we were talking about, the Roger Maris, in Mickey Mantle and some of those guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Albert Bell had 8 straight seasons of 30 home runs and 100 RBIs. The only other players to do that, Babe Ruth, Jimmy Fox, and Lou Gehrig.
Never heard of them. Yeah.
You ever heard of? Yeah, you ever heard of those guys? baseball players. So it's not something that he did over 1 or 2 seasons. You're talking just about a decade. And then it wasn't as if he fell off. The guy had a degenerative he had a degenerative career-ending injury.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's like I have heard people's arguments before, just saying that he should be in. I never dove into the numbers, and it's actually kind of surprising that they would just, again, like the 50 home run season, even to top it off, like not too many of those happen. I know during his era they did, but it's like,
but he was one of the first ones though in that era.
Yeah.
They weren't, and he did it in a strike shortened season of 143 games.
And of course, the media has always had a little grudge with him, and he has with the media. And that probably comes into play here.
Oh, for sure.
I'd like to see the players get a chance to get some of these guys in. Like, even like the NBA, like all their awards, like Wemby just like unanimously won Defensive Player of the Year, and it was just brought it to my attention. Like the media, all 100 media members voted for him to get it, and it was like, man, what about the players though? Like, why do the players not get a say in this stuff? Like the people that are actually on the court or the field with these guys. Like you're telling me, like maybe that would hurt Albert Bell's case because he was an asshole, but they know how good he was. Like they would put him in.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so.
Yeah, it's like the Pete Rose thing. Like he was kept out, obviously, but every player that you talk to said that he deserved to be in.
Right.
But it was like the New York Times guy says that he's not, and all of a sudden then he's not allowed in the Hall of Fame because the New York Times and Washington Post said he's not, and Boston Globe. Like, who gives a shit?
Well, I mean, they do the same thing with like you were saying, with the MVP voting and all that other stuff as well.
Yeah.
It's just kind of how it is, unfortunately. And then the masses follow.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what's happened with the steroid era. It's why, and listen, man, there was a time where I was F Roger Clemens and F Barry Bonds and those guys. But there's a lot of time has passed. And right now you are ignoring one of the greatest eras of baseball. And this era that you have of baseball, it's not like Major League Baseball is returning any of the money that they made,
Right. Yeah.
And the beat reporters who a lot of them knew, you can't tell me that they didn't know or they didn't hear whispers. You know what I mean? They're not returning any of the money. Those newspapers that are now out of business, they're definitely not returning any of the money for the newspapers that they made. ESPN isn't returning any of the money from the advertising for,
watching Barry Bonds, every single Barry Bonds at bat.
Yes. Like nobody is returning any of the money, but you're not allowing the fans who grew, to enjoy that. When I was growing up, I could hear, Reggie Jackson was still playing when I was a kid, but my dad would tell stories about Reggie Jackson and Mickey Mantle and Lou, all these guys. And those guys were pieces of shit. Not Reggie Jackson, but like Mickey Mantle was a piece of shit. He was a womanizer.
Cheating on his wife a few times.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The guy was cheating, was fucking around on his wife. Sorry for the F word. He was screwing around on his wife. He was, an alcoholic. A lot of these guys were bad in it. Dude, Kevin Mitchell in 86 on those 86 Mets, he cut the head off of his girlfriend's cat. According to, I think it's Kevin Elster's book. Like, there's some crazy stuff that happened.
Daryl Strawberry. I mean, he's turned things around, but like Strawberry was out there doing some crazy shit.
Yeah, man, dude. Like, there's been a lot of crazy stuff. We talked last week about Ty Cobb, sharpening his spikes.
Yeah.
So for you to, it's not like these guys, were they doing something that, okay, was it against the rules for part of the time, but not for all of the time?
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't against the rules for all the time, and it wasn't illegal for most of that time either.
Yeah.
And baseball turned the other cheek so that they could cash. They're checks.
Until it became a
Right.
thing, and then all of a sudden, then Bud Selig and those guys are jumping in and saying, like, as soon as the entire world caught on to what was happening, then all of a sudden they take the moral high ground. And you know,
okay, not to get political here. You know what happened? 9/11 happened, and the United States got involved in an unpopular war, and so Congress started investigating Major League Baseball to
because America's, I mean, not to get like this,
not get political, but that was the timing. That's what happened.
Turn, like, we'll be watching this, but we're also dumb enough to turn and say, "Oh my God, Barry Bonds is on trial."
Yeah,
or whatever it is, whoever.
Everybody's hitting all these home runs, and that's what you know.
That's right. I don't know. I'm like I know you've brought it up, and I agree with. Like, I wouldn't like go as far to say, and I respect that you do think this, but like to say that we should welcome them back in. I don't know about all that, but it's like, I don't know. To me, like the stories your dad would tell about Mickey Mantle and Lou Gehrig, or my grandma, like, grew up. She was 20 when Bob Feller was pitching, and she loved baseball. So I heard all about Bob Feller and those guys. Like, we don't. It's almost like, I wouldn't be able to tell, like, if I had a kid, like, tell my kid about the 90s, because it's like it's been blackballed. It's like, to me, baseball, the part why baseball is so special is the history behind it. Like, Wilt Chamberlain doesn't get talked about the way that Babe Ruth does.
Right.
It's just different. Like, baseball is its history, and it's like that's part of the history. Again, like, sure, Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire were on steroids, but it was also the entire country was watching these guys play. Even people that didn't care about baseball that much were watching them play and had an opinion on who they wanted to beat the record.
Yeah, for sure.
Whether or not I didn't like the Cardinals or the Cubs, but I knew I wanted, Sammy Sosa to break that record. And I was like 8 years
had a
old.
rooting interest, and everybody was making money off of it. In that sport. Baseball was on prime time before things were on TV every night. Baseball was on prime time every night.
Yeah.
ESPN was breaking in no matter what they were doing. They were breaking in on McGwire and Sosa at bats.
And then did it 4 years later with Barry Bonds or whenever it was.
Yeah. Just Congress had no business getting involved in baseball. And they, you can't stop them.
It wasn't like that big. Like, it's baseball. It's not like, why didn't they get involved with the Astros then? Like, how much money in sports betting was placed? Like, and all this sports betting started to become legal right around then.
Yes.
Right. But you guys didn't. And not to go on that rant, but then what did Manfred say? Like, he's not going to strip them of their trophy, because what's taking a piece of metal away going to do?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, it will do everything. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
It's the actual symbol of winning, and you're taking it away.
Take it from them. Yeah. So then I guess I don't know if we have time to actually get into it, but this year's the first year, because the Astros just left town, the first year in like 4 or 5 years that I won't be at the Guardians hosting the Astros to boo Jose Altuve. We make sure that we go every single year to boo that guy.
So let's get into this. So Paul Hoynes,
do we have thousands of people watching? Because I'll just keep it short. Fuck him for cheating. All of them.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Now that's in-game cheating. It's manipulation of like the in-game rules, right? It's not doing things to make yourself better.
Right.
It's not like everybody was. Yeah, it wasn't Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds both on steroids. Like, so how could? Yeah, it's like both sides were cheating in that respect, if you want to call it cheating. But not everybody was hitting trash cans to tell everybody what pitch was coming,
or wearing devices.
All that stuff. So
back to Paul Hoynes, who I love and respect. Paul Hoynes is one of my favorite beat reporters. I've been reading his articles for years. Since I was a child. He's been Cleveland baseball beat reporter. But
Paul Hoynes, real quickly, Paul Hoynes came into my middle school when I was in 8th grade and spoke to the English class. And that was one interview I still remember to this day. And we were lucky because it was his wife was the assistant principal at my middle school. Yeah, Jackie. And he came in for like career day and talked to us, and it was awesome.
Did he say anything about booing the opposing players?
Yeah.
Come on, man, you're gonna put me back in the mid '90s here. I don't remember that.
Okay, well now that's where he's at. He doesn't agree with the fans. So Cleveland.com has this really cool thing. I don't know if anybody. It's only a couple bucks a month. If I could, just give them a free plug here. I love it, man. It's a couple bucks a month, and you get on this text chain, and you get text messages from Joe Noga and Paul Hoynes, the beat reporters for the Guardians.
Mhm.
And every once in a while, you can reply, send them a message, and they will reply back to you. Doesn't happen very often, but it's happened a couple times. And when you read Cleveland.com and you're on Hey Hoynesy, a lot of times the questions that they have on there will come from this actual chat. Hoynesy will send out a message like, hey, I need Hey Hoynesy questions, those sorts of things, right? They'll also do kind of like some editorial stuff. So if Hoynesy's watching a game and he feels a certain way about something, he'll just throw something in there, and you don't necessarily see the responses of all the other fans, but you get to let Hoynesy and Noga know how you feel.
Yeah.
That's how they get the idea.
Mhm.
All right. That being said, Monday night, the Guardians were beating the Astros, and I think what was it, the 8th inning, something like that.
Mhm.
Later in the game, the Astros came back and blew them out.
Yeah.
All right. So here it is. This is point of debate today with Hoynesy on our podcast. We talked about Guardians fans booing Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa. Hoynesy says Guardians fans should stop booing. Booing good hitters makes them respond the only way they know how, by beating you at the plate.
Yeah,
So
it definitely motivates people.
Yeah.
okay, I understand that. But at what point if we're supposed to have such good pitching, right? Like, aren't your pitchers supposed to get these guys out? And why is it that, like, what about these other sports where, like, the booing and things like that is looked at as like a home field advantage?
I mean, are we booing? Are we heckling? I don't know if you guys heard the broadcast. There was somebody that was so loud in the stands the whole game. And to be honest, I was annoyed by the end. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, dude, shut up. Like, he was screaming, cheating the whole time. And I get it. And it's his right to go ahead and do that. But I was like, it
Yeah,
got
that's what
annoying.
we've been to. Like, yeah, again, like we've tried to go to at least one game every time they're here. It's when Altuve comes up to bat and they say, now come up to the plate, number 27,
Yeah.
Jose Altuve. Then the whole stadium starts booing him. And then after the first pitch, it stops.
Right.
Now I will say, I think, like, it doesn't, like, booing or not, Jose Altuve is going to be able to hit a baseball. I don't
Right.
think that he doesn't need any extra motivation to be one of the best hitting second basemen of all time. I just like hate what he did. And again, like, some of that is for out of respect for the game and the history of the game. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, you can't like blame the fans. Like, I just, like, we don't want him to forget that we know that he cheated.
Right.
It's like,
right.
Hit 300 every
Absolutely.
year if you want, motherfucker. But like we know that, like, we still don't
still
forget
know.
it's been 10 years. Like, we still know that you cheated. So I don't know. That's a very weird point to make.
Right.
To blame the fans. I wonder if he said anything when the Browns fans were cheering when Watson got hurt.
Yeah.
Like, just how to,
Yeah, I mean, dude, I get that, but
Yeah.
you don't cheer somebody getting hurt.
Yeah,
You know, and you
I
don't-
don't know if I brought that. It says the draft's tomorrow, and we're gonna screw it up.
Oh, that's a whole other show.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think? I just think it's like a very weird thing to put on the fans.
Yeah, especially in a place where, we're having a hard time drawing fans in. I
Yeah.
think that you want your fans to be engaged.
Mhm.
And if I think if that's the way it is, then it's on the Guardians pitchers when, you start to see you start to hear these fans, if they're starting to boo and heckle, right? And if that's going to charge the opposing players up, then maybe something needs to charge up the home pitching to make sure that doesn't happen.
Right.
Where's the chutzpah of the home pitching then?
So yeah, if we wouldn't have booed, then Altuve wouldn't be able to hit the ball.
Yeah.
It's
so
like
all of us, we booed, and so now your curveball's flat. Or
It's inconsequential. It's definitely inconsequential. They're gonna, what's gonna happen is gonna happen. Boo or not boo. I mean, guys are gonna be 75% free throw shooters, no matter how many noodles you're waving in front of their face behind the basket. It's just
but have you seen the new trend?
No.
It was bigger in college this year, but like at the smaller schools, when someone's shooting free throws, like a guy in the stands would say, "That's my man," and like yell it really loud. and they would miss it every single time. Maybe we gotta try that with Altuve. Just start yelling, "There's my man up there, my tiny little man."
Yeah.
Right on.
I don't know.
Well, I want to make sure that I give a shout out and thank all of our sponsors. Cleveland Ketchup. If you check them out, use code Bearded for 10% off. Bearded Bastards Barbecue. Use code Bearded15 for 15% off. Rest and Renew Counseling. Call 216-815-1728. Call Jennifer today. Also, we have a brand new sponsor, Dick's House of Sport. You can go out there and do some rock climbing. Got a driving range out there, I believe. Lots of cool stuff. Check out there. And as far as Guardsmania goes, I think this is about it for for some baseball. They got no game for the rest of the day here. They already lost today. They got the day off tomorrow. They got the day off because we have what every Browns fan has been waiting for every year.
Super Bowl.
The draft. This is our Super Bowl, the draft. Make sure if you're not doing nothing, or even if you are doing something, you should cancel what you are doing and come out and join us tomorrow. We are going to be at, I'm having a brain freeze right now. Where are we going to be at, buddy? PJ McIntyre's Irish Pub,
Cleveland.
Cam's Corner, Cleveland. Starts at 7:00. All the guys from the Bearded Browns are going to be there. So come and check us out. Logan will be there too if he gets all his work done and mom lets him out.
Might just not do the work. Well, actually, shit. I didn't say it. I know we got thousands of people watching. Hopefully that doesn't get out there.
Yeah. This is a very highly watched podcast. So
it will be one for the ones that drive Bo Naylor out of town. Yeah.
Well,
let's get the weekly Bo Naylor tracker up. How many hits he had since we last had a podcast will be the new thing.
All right, we're rooting for more hits than days gone by.
Yeah, that'd be a start.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, I want to thank you very much. My wife is looking into the camera as we're going through here.
All this guy does is podcast. Yeah.
Thank you guys very much for watching. We will be back next Thursday at our regular time. We had to do today because of the draft party tomorrow. I want to thank all of our sponsors. Come check us out tomorrow night at PJ McIntyre's. Thank you, Logan. Make sure you check out Logan Bruce Music on all platforms. Check out all his original music. He's got some awesome Cleveland sports music on there as well. Thank you, Eric, for joining us. Eric is
my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, good to have you, dude. Keep coming back. I like talking guards.
Man, we got to talk fantasy baseball
next week. Yeah, fantasy baseball.
Yeah. We'll do a section on that.
Yeah, actually, Gary, let your wife know you're starting a third podcast. And this one will be fantasy sports related. Yeah.
All right, sweetie. I'm starting a new podcast.
She can hear in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, make sure you yell. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. And we will see you next week. Go Guards.
Go Guards.
Go Guards.
Go Guards.
Go Guards. I'm sorry. Go Guards.
Isn't that